Now, it's hard to overstate the importance of these fee increases, and you'll see this evidenced in the documents we brought today, documents principally from Ohio EPA, as well as some estimates of budget impacts by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. I want to read one sentence here in particular. This is directly quoting from the Ohio EPA budget analysis. This is an analysis of what will happen if the Ohio Senate's refusal to approve these landfill fees, the mixed solid waste fee, is upheld by the House. That is, if we do not raise this small dollar-a-ton fee increase on mixed solid waste. Here's just one thing Ohio EPA is projecting. Quote, Ohio EPA will not be able to ensure compliance with drinking water regulations, and more drinking water systems will face enforcement, many of which will have to be referred to US EPA for enforcement. Ohioans will not have the same assurances of receiving safe drinking water. Let me repeat that last sentence. Ohioans will not have the same assurances of receiving safe drinking water. Kind of a clarion call to stand up, do the right thing, and protect our vital air, land, and water resources. The Ohio EPA document projects deep funding cuts that will take a serious toll on the agency's ability to safeguard safe drinking water, protect rivers and lakes, and control air pollution. Separately, for the State Scenic Rivers program, the choice is equally stark. Without that fee increase on canoes and kayaks, there simply will not be a State Scenic Rivers program, period. The choice is up to lawmakers. And this is more than just a golden opportunity to cast a green vote. This is an absolutely necessary vote for protection of public health, protection of the environment. Nobody wants to return to the days of the burning river. But now is the time, and this is the vote for lawmakers to stand up and be counted. I'm now going to shift to Elaine Marsh, co-founder of the Friends of the Crooked River up in Peninsula, Ohio. I believe that's in Summit County. Elaine, you were not on the scene at the downtown Cleveland that day 40 years ago, but you do recall it at least. Elaine, take it away.
I certainly do recall it, and I'd like to start by saying that as a paddler of many years, I support these fees, and remembering a time when you wouldn't put a metal boat in the lower river, at least you wouldn't do it with feeling safe about it, to the time that we have now, I really support these fees and would happily pay them in order to keep the Ohio EPA functioning. Because back in June 23rd of 1969, Cuyahoga barely resembled a river. In fact, later that summer, Time magazine would write, "Some river, chocolate brown, oily, bubbling with subsurface gases, it oozes rather than flows. Anyone who falls into the Cuyahoga does not drown," Cleveland citizens grimly joke. Hey, Federal Water Pollution Control Administration dryly noted, the lower Cuyahoga has no visible signs of life, not even low forms such as leeches and slugworms that usually thrive on waste. It is also literally a fire hazard. On the 40th anniversary of the river's last incendiary experience, it's good to reflect on what caused the conditions of that infamous time and where we have come since. I'd like to start with where we have come since the circumstances in 1969. Unlike its grave, nearly dead situation in 1969, the Cuyahoga, one of many of Ohio's comeback rivers, meets or nearly meets the standards for aquatic communities for most of its 100-mile crooked journey to Lake Erie. This dramatic turnaround, as Jack mentioned, in the health of the Cuyahoga River is no accident. It has been a long and difficult voyage, and one that has cost over $1 billion. And of the many notable heroes in this continuing effort, the Ohio EPA emerges as the champion. When the Clean Water Act was enacted, we had very little understanding of how to effectively treat water or how the living systems of fresh water worked and what we needed to do to ensure their health. The Ohio EPA's research on biocriteria and on stream structure is internationally regarded as the leading authority. Working in partnership partnership with local governments, permittees, educational institutions, and nonprofit organizations, and using both carrot and stick, Ohio EPA employs approaches that succeed in restoring the fishable, swimmable goals of the Clean Water Act. Ohio EPA's role in clean water is so much more comprehensive than permitting wastewater discharges. Their recent work on the removal and modification of dams in the Middle River in Kent and Monroe Falls shows the creative assistance they can provide in design, support, and funding. In addition to improving water quality, these award-winning projects have resulted in dramatic enhancements in local quality of life and recreation. Once a stagnant pool, the mile-and-a-half rapids in the city of Kent are alive with kayakers and canoeists and tourists enjoying the park. This project would have never started without the work of Ohio EPA. Now I'd like to go back to 1969 to examine the cause of the abysmal water quality of that day.